Hey, good Friday morning, everybody. It's Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. It's going to be an active couple of days for storms in the south-southeast. The question is, depending on location, how severe those storms are. Kind of been watching this the last couple of days with the bulk of the energy staying to our west, but there's a few areas in the Carolinas that we're going to have to watch, especially later today. Here's the system. Pretty complicated setup here. You've got the big upper low here kind of moving away. You've got these fronts attached to it. And another piece of energy coming out of the Rockies, which is going to drive our severe weather risk today across the south. What is a concern for the Carolinas is actually this little front here, which is going to help kick off some isolated severe storms, especially in North Carolina, up into areas of Virginia. And we'll turn off the satellite here real quickly and show you the severe weather outlook today. And you can kind of see the areas of concern. We've got this higher risk down here across the mid-south, kind of expecting this northwest flow here and this piece of energy to create a pretty good squall line of thunderstorms, maybe a big complex of storms. And then up here in our area towards the Virginias and up into the Carolinas, we're going to have this kind of front sitting here, and anything that forms and moves along this front, especially towards the Tidewater region, could be strong to severe. So that's the potential for some strong storms today. Let me quickly show you tomorrow's outlook. We'll go to day 2. You can see the severe weather risk kind of stays just to the west along that front. And as that front pushes east on Sunday afternoon, there's going to be a low end risk along the coastal areas. So kind of the evolution of this thing today is more so about this thing developing back to the west with a little bit of a chance over the Carolinas. But as this whole system pushes to the east, you can see how threat begins to shift to the east as well. So let's look at the futurecast to see what's going to unfold later today and into Saturday. So we'll get right into the futurecast here. You can see at 10 a.m., not a lot going on. We'll go into the afternoon hours, and you can see these big clusters of storms developing back into Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas. But look at this cluster down the south. So folks watching the Masters like I will, these are the storms that are going to threaten Augusta probably after 5 o'clock into the evening hours. I think they're probably going to get these rounds in, but it'll be interesting to watch. But did you see those storms firing up in the mountains and foothills? This is kind of typical right along the eastern facing slopes. You see these storms firing up there and a couple in here. Remember, there's going to be some kind of frontal boundary right here. So as these storms develop and push to the east, you could see some of them possibly could be strong to severe up in this area. And look at the time frame later this evening. But look at the big clusters of storms to our south, kind of moving through Georgia and South Carolina. That's not even the main action, which is back here to the west. So you kind of see how crazy this setup is. There's going to be scattered storms probably all over the place. This is going into late night tonight. We're going towards about midnight. You see the cluster of storms over the Carolinas. That pushes off to the east and weakens. But look at this mess back to the west. This is the main show. This pushes to the east, and you can see kind of like two pieces of energy. One, maybe a big, what we call MCS, which is a mesoscale convective system. It's basically a really fancy name for a big cluster of thunderstorms. These look like they're going to kind of dive to the southeast. And then we've got the upper support system, which looks like it's moving in this direction. And then this little cluster storm's moving off here. So a lot of moving parts going on here. But watch this evolve during the overnight hours into early Saturday. The storms dive to the south and weaken, but then the front itself is somewhere right in there. So this is going into Saturday afternoon. I'll back it up here. We go through tomorrow morning, and then you go into the afternoon, and here comes that front. So a lot of folks asking, hey, Brad, Saturday a washout? No, today's not a washout. We've got dry conditions most of the day. Just look at the time frames, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. You see these pop-up storms. So here's the main chance of storms on Saturday. So just for planning purposes, this is... back it up. Whoops. I'll back it up again. Play it out and stop it here. So going into Saturday morning, this is what you wake up to. Saturday lunchtime, it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. That's when storms start to develop. In the Carolinas, you see them pushing to the east. We go to 5 o'clock, probably the best chance of storms right around dinner time, 6, 7. So yeah, you see that cluster, that dinner time frame in the evening, max heating of the day, also when the front arrives. And then we go through time, 8, 9, 10. The front pushes off to the east. We go into Sunday morning. We've got the main action pushing out of here. This is 2 o'clock in the morning. The front itself looks like it's still in here like a piece of energy. So there's probably going to be a lingering chance for some storms on Sunday here. But for the most part, we should clear out completely. Now, The main risk with all of these storms, primarily straight line wind and hail. We don't really have a tornado setup in our area, but remember, any severe thunderstorm potentially could produce a tornado with little or no warning, but that's not the main risk for our area. If I go back to the SPC outlook for today, I'm going to put the tornado probabilities on real quickly, and you can see that's where the tornado probabilities are today. I'll turn off the model data real quickly. Now let's leave it on for a second because to kind of show you where it is. So this is today's tornado outbreak or outlook, and you can see not much of anything in our area, maybe a higher risk down here. Let me show you tomorrow's outlook real quickly for tornadic storms, and you can see, there's really, let me put the tornado category. For some reason, it's not letting me show the tornado probabilities, which is weird. But it would be mainly just to our west. So again, the probabilities today are primarily going to be straight line winds. And just let me show you the probabilities of wind. You can see the brown, that's a 5%. And then let me show you the hail in the 5% as well. So much bigger wind and hail probabilities with all of this mess heading our way today. So let's loop this one last time. I'll just kind of show you the next 48 hours. You kind of see how this evolves. So we're going to see waves of afternoon and evening storms today and again tomorrow. So if you're worried about outdoor plans, just have a backup plan and be ready for pop-up storms late afternoon into the evening hours.